Dragon Drop. The idea of the game is quite simple. Basically, you and up to 3 other players get together, and with your Fire Blast, you knock down blocks in an arena and try to send your opponents to their doom. Similar games that I can think of are stuff like Bomberman, where you have to blow your opponents up, or the Monkey Fight minigame in Super Monkey Ball, where you have to punch your opponents off of a platform. I've heard there's like a similar game that, might have been an inspiration for this from Kirby, but I don't know that for certain. It's honestly a fun little time though. 7 different game modes. They're clearly trying to take this idea and get as much mileage as they can out of it. You've got your typical stock and timed, where stock is going to be you with a limited amount of lives, and timed is going to be, just keep on going until you run out of time and see who did the best. There's a Dragon Dash mode, which honestly I think is probably the least interesting, because it's mainly about how fast you can walk. You still try to attack each other, and if you fall, you end up losing points and whatnot. Then you've got Quick Draw, where you only get 1 life, which is pretty wild, honestly. And it's just a good, quick way of making a tense fight. Then you have Speed Stock, where all of your characters are super fast, and that might be my favourite one personally. There's Stage Destruction, where your points are actually primarily from destroying the stage, and not actually from knocking your opponents off. In fact, in that one, if you fall off, or you cause one of your opponents to fall off, you end up losing points. And while that seems counterintuitive, it does lead to a little bit of an interesting dynamic. Then they have Up Drop, which is an interesting take. Instead of the blocks falling downwards, they actually go upwards. This means that sometimes the blocks get in your way because you can't see your dragon anymore. Even with all that being said, I still think they could technically take it further. If you had the ability to add items into the gameplay mode, like say you got one which allowed you to blast 1 that let you go take out 3 rows at once, or even just 2 rows at once, that would be huge. And given the game is still in early access, I think there's a lot more that they are planning to do with it. This is overall a simple idea being brought to its limits, which I really find endearing, and of course with the art style where all the dragons look like little chubby beans is honestly really cute as well. Also, the soundtrack, as you can hear in the background, is pretty darn good in my opinion. It's really nice. Overall, I just think it's a fun game, and I can't wait to see more updates to this, and I'll probably cover it again next year after it's had a bunch more updates done to it. But even now, I definitely recommend checking it out. You can find it on Steam for £4, I believe it's also on itch.io, and yeah, once again, highly recommend it.